And I'm very sorry, but
The microphone works beautifully.
Okay, good. So I'm sorry I couldn't sing along earlier. My name is Ellen Charry, and I live here in Princeton, and I teach theology at the Princeton Theological Seminary around the corner. And I want to tell you my story. When I was about 15, my father of blessed memory sat me down across from me in his armchair, and he said to me, "I am a bigot. Your generation will be different." And he took me to see and hear Dr. Martin Luther King. When he came to the convention center. This was in Philadelphia. And of course, in those days, we didn't have big screens. So the huge convention center, of course, was packed. And all I could see was this little dot at the other end of the convention center. But my father took me to hear and see Dr. Martin Luther King. So that is the background to my story, that in many years later, I had been teaching Sunday school, and one of the children in the class, he was at the time 11 years old, had been taken under care by some people in the meeting who knew they couldn't save every child who needed help, but they determined they were going to save one child, and took him into their middle-class home from the inner city, a small town here in New Jersey, to take care of him. They tried to adopt him. That didn't work. And I became his Sunday school teacher. And when he was about 11, when I met him, he started getting in trouble. Well, I'm not going to bore you with all the details. However, when he was 16, he murdered his foster mother, this woman who had rescued him. And he was sent to juvenile detention in Middlesex County, where I went and started visiting him, and the prison guards let me come whenever I wanted, stay as long as I wanted, bring whatever food I wanted. They were very gracious to me. And I testified at the waiver hearing. The statute in the state of New Jersey is, and by the time of the waiver hearing, he was 17 and a half, going on 18, until it was processed through the courts. And I testified as a character witness. They didn't know I should have probably testified as an expert witness. They didn't ask me anything about myself. And I was not able to testify that he could be completely rehabilitated within the next year and a half, and he was therefore automatically waived up to adult court and tries as an adult, and convicted of aggravated felony murder in the first degree, and is serving a life sentence in the New Jersey State Prison System, where I have been taking care of him as his everything, his friend, his mother, his minister, his banker, his everything, ever since. He's now more than midway through the sentence. If all goes well, he would be released. He would be in his mid-50s. So this is how I came to be familiar with the New Jersey State Prison system. And I must say that it is Jean Ross, sitting right here in the front row, who has enabled me over the past couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years now, to figure out how better to negotiate this awful system. It used to be when I was first able to visit him, he was in Trenton State, New Jersey State Prison. We were allowed to bring food. I was allowed to bring him clothing. I was able to send him books. I was able to send him art supplies. And that was all cut off, preventing him from having any civilian clothing, or homemade food, or even food that I would go to the store and buy for him. And things just deteriorated and got worse and worse and worse. It's very difficult to tend to the needs of inmates in this system even his medical needs. He has extensive specific medical needs because of abuse that he suffered as a child before the murder. And I wanted at one point just to be able to send him glucosamine. I was forbidden to send him even vitamins that would help him. Ibuprofen, he has severe medical problems. They only will give him ibuprofen, and the medical treatment is very difficult. He has a congenital dental problem and is losing his teeth. He did go to the dentist, but it costs money. He needs to have 7 teeth pulled. 7 teeth pulled. He's losing all his teeth, and there's a copay of between $2 and $5 every time you go to the dentist or the doctor. And his income, there aren't enough jobs in the prison for inmates who want them, as many of you know, and so unable to find a job. His state pay is $28 a month. Now, if you know anything about the vendors who are permitted inside the prisons, you know their prices are exorbitant. So $2 or $5 to see a doctor or a dentist for very deeply, much needed medical care is beyond his means. And all this is to try to save money for the taxpayers. Well, I could go on and on, but I'm probably at my time limit. Just to let you know that the prison system is very difficult to manipulate, to maneuver. They won't speak to me. You know, I call and I want to speak to the social worker. They will not give me, of course, any information. They will not speak to me. And so it's very difficult even to find out sometimes what facility, if he's transferred to another facility, it's sometimes difficult even to find that out. So I just want to tell you that the prison system is not easy, and we want to keep people out of the system. Thank you.